Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very good day to all of you. Today, the topic for our forum will be Are electric cars the future? Before we move ahead, let me introduce you to our panelists that will hit today's forum. Our first speaker will be Azizatul, and our second speaker will be Sathyaaruban, and the third speaker will be Adriana, and I, Deventhren, will be the moderator for today. We are all aware about the current global threat that is climate change. It is a matter that all should be responsible for and take action to make a quick change. Electric cars are one of the examples to combat this problem and one of the earliest solutions to begin a world with zero carbon emissions. We all know that Tesla, one of the leading electric car manufacturers in the world, are currently being the front runners in the innovation of electrical car. Tesla has proven electrical cars are just good as fossil fuel engines or even better. So let me ask Ms. Azizatul, what are the benefits of electrical cars?
Okay, there are many benefits of electric vehicles over conventional petrol or diesel car. Today, I will explain about 4 benefits of electric vehicles. The first one is better for the environment. This is because it causes less pollution. By choosing to drive an electric vehicles, you are helping to reduce harmful air pollution from exhaust emission. And electric vehicles has zero exhaust emission, but still create a degree of greenhouse gas emission when it is changed from the electricity grid. It also uses renewable energy. If you have a solar PV system and charge your electric vehicles during the day, you can reduce your greenhouse gas emission even further. Another way is to purchase green power from your electricity retailer. Then, even if you recharge your EV from the electricity grid, your, your electricity is coming from renewable energy resource. The second is better for our energy security. On a national level, electric vehicles can help with Australia's liquid fuel energy security. At present, Australia is highly dependent on other countries for petroleum import. Electric vehicles are easy to power from local and renewable energy sources, reducing our dependency on forest oil. Electric vehicles will be affected if fuel supply to Australia are ever disrupted or fuel costs increase significantly. The third is less noise. Electric vehicles are much quieter than petrol and diesel vehicles. In fact, electric cars are so quiet they are now required by law to have an acoustic vehicles alert system to emit a sound when reversing or traveling. The last point is lower running costs. On average, an electric car costs less than €2 to drive 100 miles, which is €11 for a petrol car. There's also cheaper service and maintenance plus low and no vehicles tax. That's all the benefits that I can explain today.
Thanks for the explanation provided by Ms. Azizatul. So, we have known that electric cars are actually good for the environment. Not just it provides less emission, it also causes less noise pollution. And this is a good thing for our environment. So let's move on to the next topic. So we all know that electric cars requires electrical energy to run, and it gets the energy from energy sources such as fossil fuels, which are actually bad for the environment. So Mr. Satya, would you care to explain what are the cons of electrical cars?
There are also some downside that each individual needs to consider before they decide to make electric car their next big investment. The several reasons is why electric car is considered bad is you cannot drive as far in electric car. Although battery technology is improving all the time, there is the fact. The best electric cars now have range of around 800 kilometers between charges, but many of the range just less than 500 kilometers between charges, which means they are much more suited for the users in cities and short local journeys rather than the local distance travel. And to recharge them, we have to use the car recharge them, and they need to reach an hour and charging and decided the high voltage charging compared than with the time it can fill the tank of the petrol diesel engine car. And the fact of many cars can go 800 km and more between refills. It's obvious that fossil fuels still can have distinct advantage in this area. Using the heater or air conditioner in the electric car will be also impact on the range and battery or less charge than before. The next fact is the electric car do not take the longer to recharge. So the charging an electric car take much more time than it does to fuel the petrol. Even when using the rapid charger, then we can take up to 30 minutes to recharge. Thus, charging requires more time to planning than it does when refueling a petrol or diesel car. For example, if you have a plan, you have to recharge your electric car when you park in your garage for a long time. So the car driver has to plan more carefully because running out the power can be solved by the quickly stop by gas pump. The final reason is the electric car be more expensive. This is because the battery packs of the electric car are expensive and may need to replace more than once than a lifetime of the car. For the electric vehicles also more expensive than the gas powered car. And upfront cost the all electric vehicle can be the prohibitive. However, the feel of the cost saving tax credit and state incentives can help to offer this cost overall if they are available. Overall, all electric vehicles, like any vehicle, must be assessed based on the personal need and vehicle usage. There are many pros of owning the electric vehicles such as fuel saving and reduced emission, but this can become at the cost of the railing on the battery charging and the higher cost. Therefore, we need to consider what will work best for us when looking into the purchasing of the new car.
So thank you, Mr. Satya, for your explanation. We realize that making electric cars does use a lot of energy. Even after taking battery manufacture into account, electric cars are still a green option. This is because of the reduction in emissions created over the car's lifetime. The emissions created during the production of an electric car tend to be higher than a conventional car. This is due to the manufacture of lithium-ion batteries, which are an essential part of an electric car. More than a third of the lifetime of carbon dioxide emissions from an electric car comes from the energy that is used to make the car itself. As the technology advances, this is changing for the better. Reusing and recycling batteries is also a growing market. Research into the use of second-hand batteries is looking at ways to reuse batteries in new technologies such as electricity storage. One day, we could have all batteries in our home being used to store our own energy. Opportunities like this will reduce the lifetime environmental impact of battery manufacture. Let's look on to the electricity required to fuel an electric car. The research by the European Energy Agency found that even with electricity generation, the car emissions of an electric car are around 17 to 30% lower than driving a petrol or a diesel car. The emissions from electricity generation are also dramatically improved when low carbon electricity is used. That's good news for our customers and electric car users. It is a good thing to be more eco-friendly when you are driving your car, not just being a zero carbon emission car. It also helps to reduce the total carbon emission caused by the fossil fuel burn. So moving on, we will go to Miss Adriana for what is the future of the car for electrical cars.
Thank you, Devan. Electrical cars are the future, and each year we have seen automakers add more energy-based vehicles to their lineups. It offers an opportunity to replace fossil fuels in the transport sector, According to the source, the main component of the electric cars are batteries made of lithium ion. Lithium ion is an efficient method for making cars batteries, but it is quite expensive as well. Day by day, lithium metal costs are soaring. S&P Global says those costs are expected to continue soaring through 2022. That leaves open question about how to create energy vehicle batteries with renewable materials in a cost-effective manner. The secret, it turns out, may lie in a different materials allowing us to use less lithium. So, the experts are going to introduce gallium nitride, a chemical compound that has been commonly used as a semiconductor in light-emitting diodes since 1990s. Gallium is a soft metal in the same family as aluminum. It's a solid at room temperature, but just barely with a melting point of about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. But when combined with plentiful nitrogen, it becomes gallium nitride, a rock-hard semiconductor material. Navita Semiconductor is one of the companies in the space looking to make an impact on the field of energy vehicle batteries. It says that by making a simple swap, which is gallium nitride for silicon, energy vehicle batteries could shed critical weight and also charge faster. It all because of the chemical and physical makeup of gallium nitride compared with silicon, giving gallium nitride larger capacity with less materials. Navita says in its material that gallium nitride is also surprisingly a way that we could improve the traction of system in energy vehicle that literally translate energy into a vehicle adjacent to the road. That means more movement with less energy. Indeed, it seems that gallium nitride could do a lot more than with the less when it comes to energy vehicle semiconductor. That's all for the future of the electric cars. Hope we can see electric cars made of gallium nitride batteries in the future.
And thank you for the explanation provided for the future of electric cars. So, in a nutshell, while electric cars do have their downsides, they are definitely more eco-friendly than a typical car running on either gasoline or diesel. Numerous research have also shown that electric cars are more efficient and so they produce less harmful emissions. When you consider the emissions created by the electric plants that generate the electricity, from a personal finance perspective, driving an electric car will help you save more on fuel costs. From a broader perspective, however, electric cars will not only help in achieving nation goals for cutting down on greenhouse emissions, but it will also improve air quality for everyone. We realize that electrical cars are far from perfect. Between a degrading battery and relying on a fossil fuel generated electrical energy, it still has a long way to go. But we can surely tell that it will be more advanced and eco-friendly in the future to adhere to the Sustainable Development Goals by the UN, and it can make a zero-emission transport a reality. A future where climate change is not a problem is possible with electrical cars as the beginning. It is just the first step that we can take in order to create a more greener environment for the future generations. It is the least amount of effort we can do to reduce our carbon footprint in the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we can conclude that electrical cars are the future of vehicles, transportation systems. They are what will be the main transport medium in near 20-30 years. The fossil fuels that the fossil fuel based cars that we are using now will be long gone, and electrical cars will replace them. And that is why electrical cars are the future. And thank you.